I don't have the answers, but I'm curious if you have signed up for the National Guard. You probably didn't sign up for this. You signed up for your school to be paid for and to have, some coin coming in. You do your little thing on the weekends. This is not what you signed up for. What do you do if they're telling you you have to go?
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
So I'm like looking at people just being grabbed. Simone D. Sanders Townsend, who is a correspondent, and she worked both with Bernie Sanders and with Joe Biden. She was in the Joe Biden White House. She was one of the press secretary staff members. She now has a show on MSNBC, and she was talking about the last couple of times presidents have called in the National Guard under the circumstances. And you'll see quite a difference here. Play the clip.
You may have seen the headlines about President Trump deploying the California National Guard, 2,000 California National Guard troops in response to protests. I think it's really important for people to understand this is not the first time a president has done this. This isn't the first time Trump has done this. But the story is really about who they deploy them for and who they deploy them against. In 1957, President Eisenhower federalized the National Guard in Arkansas. Why? To protect Black children who were integrating a white high school. The governor at the time of Arkansas actually called on the National Guard to stop the integration, and President Eisenhower stepped in, federalized the National Guard. President John F. Kennedy did the same. 1962, James Meredith was the first Black student to integrate Ole Miss. After he did so, riots broke out. JFK stepped in. 1963, Governor Wallace, in Alabama, tried to physically block Black students from attending the University of Alabama. JFK federalized the National Guard. They stepped in. Oh, but there are other examples. 1992, after the police who beat Rodney King were acquitted on all charges, LA erupted in outrage. President at the time, George H.W. Bush, he sent in federal troops and he federalized parts of the California National Guard. 60 people died during that uprising. And then there's 2020. After the murder of George Floyd, the country erupted in protest. And Donald Trump, who was the president at the time, didn't just send the National Guard into D.C. No, he wanted to invoke the Insurrection Act. He wanted to send active duty military into American cities all over the country. And according to his secretary, Mark Esper, who was the Secretary of Defense at the time, asked could they send troops into the streets of D.C. and shoot the protesters. He didn't get his way, but the president had protesters in Lafayette Square outside of the White House tear gas so that he could walk to a church for a photo op. Yeah, the National Guard has been used to protect people who are demanding justice and also to suppress them. So the next time a president, any president, especially this president, talks about law and order or restoring calm, ask yourself, whose peace exactly are they protecting and at whose expense?
That part. Thank you, Simone D. Sanders. The Insurrection Act of 1807, federal law that empowers the President of the United States to nationally deploy the U.S. military and to federalize the National Guard units of the individual states in specific circumstances, such as the suppression of civil disorder or insurrection, like January 6th?
Sounds right.
Was the National Guard called in by the sitting president? When the Capitol and Capitol Police were killed?
No, it was fine. It was fine.
It was fine. And not only fine, these people they've gotten pardoned.
They've got pardons.
Records
they've
cleared.
Got job offers. They've got
job
salary.
off. Some of them were wearing masks out there, rounding up citizens. And this is that. This is that time. So my question on the table: if you're National Guard, what do? You're called to go in and do something that you know in your spirit is wrong. You took an oath but this is wrong. 866-801-8255. I was watching The Godfather of Harlem, something I had decided I wasn't going to watch, but then I got back in. Forrest Whitaker is looking like a little snack right now. I don't know what he's been doing, but he's looking like a snack. Y'all don't at me, but I was like, Forrest Whitaker, come on through. What is happening with you? Anyway, I would put, I saw him in Andor. I was saying, hey, Forrest Whitaker. Anyway, I'm watching Godfather of Harlem, and this is the season where they are, Black Panther Party rise. We lost Malcolm in the last season. Now the Black Panther Party is being looked at. Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mom is in it. It's like wild. And then there's a scene where this black kid wants to enlist to go to Vietnam because his dad was in World War II and he wants to be a hero like his father. And his mother's like, no, this ain't that. So she talks to Bumpy Johnson's wife. Forrest Whitaker plays Bumpy Johnson. And she is friends with Muhammad Ali and everybody. So she brings Muhammad Ali to talk to this man, this young boy who's 18, just turned 18. And he was like, the whole, I don't know those people. They're not calling me the N-word. What are you fighting for? And the kid still wants to go. So they're like, we're going to kidnap him and take him to Canada. His mother's like, no, you will not be fighting. But, you make a decision. Muhammad Ali's like, I gave up everything because it was wrong. I'm not fighting for this country that treats my people. Let's figure this out here. And the Black Panther's like, the war is here. So we're thinking about where we are right now as a nation. And it has been divided from probably its inception. But now this is about our laws, rule of laws, and all, This is a dangerous place that we are in. And I don't have the answers, but I'm curious if you have signed up for the National Guard. You probably didn't sign up for this. You signed up for your school to be paid for and to have, some coin coming in. You do your little thing on the weekends. This is not what you signed up for. What do you do if they're telling you have to go and harm people? 866-801-8255. Now he's also talking about Marines. If you are in the military right now, are you upholding this mess? I mean, you've sworn an oath. Well, is your oath to this madness stronger than your oath to your spirit, yourself? I mean, I don't know how people move, and it's a lot what I'm asking, but I'm just curious how you reconcile with that. Well, I'm just doing what I'm following orders. Was the refrain in Nazi Germany? I was just following orders. Are you that person? I'm just curious.
I would love to hear from people. I would love, yeah. I can't fathom. We know our military in the wars that we've been in over the past decades. It's, as you said earlier, it's a lot different when you have white protesters out here like turning weapons on them. We know that the military absolutely grooms people to accept that if the face on the other end of that rifle is black or brown, that that takes less thought, less, that, yeah, sure, you can do that. But if they're white, and then what does that mean? So does it depend on who's on the other side of that weapon? I mean, how deep does this go? I am scared for people who, they call it soul rot. I think that you can't serve the military without having a piece of your soul rotting away anyway. But I would like to hear what people have to say about the choices they're making.
Olivia A. Cole is here. I think there was a time when serving this country bore distinction. There was something of valor. There was something of value in fighting for, or at least what we were indoctrinated into believing, freedoms, for other people. I think we now know enough that maybe that mission has always been a little skewed. I mean, the reality is we did not come into World War II willingly. The Nazi Germany part. That we were dragged into that. Right. This country was like, we're okay with that. We're okay with that. Yeah. And it's a complicated thing, because people sometimes will fund their own demise. 866-801-8255. But we're here now. I hate doing the whataboutisms, but Kristi Noem, she was on Sean Hannity in 2024 talking about President Joe Biden at the time, federalizing the National Guard. She's now in charge of the very thing, right? Here's what she said to Sean Hannity in 2024.
The Republican governors, they all deserve credit, that stood by Governor Abbott's side. If you didn't stand with him in solidarity, I'm not sure Biden wouldn't have precipitated a real crisis down there.
Yeah, Sean, I went the actual day that showdown was supposed to happen. People asked me why, when I heard the news, I immediately the next day was at the border. And it was because of what I heard Democrats encouraging the president to do. They were encouraging President Biden to activate our National Guard soldiers so that they would stand down. He actually was going to take control of our South Dakota National Guard and actually activate them so that they would not protect America. So recognizing the real threat that was to states' rights and how that would be the first time in history a president would pay a soldier to not fight, to not protect our country, made me show up in Texas the next day to let Governor Abbott know I'm here. South Dakota is with you. We will defend our Constitution. We will defend our rights, because the last several years we've seen the Democrats take away our freedom of religion, our freedom of assembly, our freedom of speech. We can't let them take away our states' rights, too, especially our right to protect ourselves.
They just be saying anything.
Yeah. No, but the hypocrisy is like, it's like
hypocrisy.
But you know what's wild about that, Olivia A. Cole? That they clearly think Americans are just that damn dumb that they're not going to go back and look and go, hey, didn't you? But you, hey, you just said this, and now you're doing
rights to religion. It's like, show me where, show me. It's and then what, 6 months later, now they're requiring the 10 commandments in public schools, and it's like,
yes,
guys, come on, do you not but yeah, no, they'll say anything,
and apparently it works.
Yes, it does.
You still got people fighting for this. I want to see more people who, because my timeline on my comments is on YouTube's full of people. I'm white and I voted for Kamala. Okay. You and your cousins go on into the streets and protest this madness. But also though, there was a blueprint there, because all of these Republican governors stood with Governor Abbott in Texas to fight against Biden. Where are the Democrats? Because he's targeting blue states, right? He's targeting ICE is not coming into North and South Dakota and they're New York, California. They're flooding the states that he believes are against him.
Yep.
And it's interesting. I don't see, where's Gretchen Whitmer? You had your face covered when you went to beg for some. Hello.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We